If this was Gina Carano suing Disney, that's one thing, but it's not.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's Gina
Mm-hmm.
Carano and the wealthiest man in history. Gina Carano, the lawsuit that has been rippling across the internet over the last 18 hours or so, 24 hours. You know, a lot could be said about this, but I figured we'd give our thoughts on this. But the long and short of it is that she put this tweet out shortly after our show yesterday, which was wildly inconvenient. The most important thing is that she's suing Lucasfilm and Disney. She talks about certain individuals, Bob Chapek. She talks about how her words were used, were twisted and manipulated to make her look like a transphobe and a racist, and comparisons that were very twisted. She said, look with your own eyes at what I posted and ask yourself, for example, where did I compare Republicans to the Jewish people in the Holocaust? But the interesting thing about this is that this right here, a couple months ago, Elon Musk tweeted that if you've been fired from using the platform X for exercising your right to free speech, he would like to offer these people with legal representation. So she put it out there. I think I qualify, and thousands of people agreed. A few months ago, I received an email from a lawyer who had been hired by X to look into my story and others. Turns out, after sending them as much information that I could over the past few months, my lawyers and X, these people who are now her lawyers, believe wholeheartedly in my case and are moving forward.
This is a huge moment where we have an individual who's going to be going up against one of the biggest companies in the world, and this is a huge moment. The thing that I find to be really cool about this is that Elon Musk and X are the ones that are going to be backing her, which gives her the power to go up against Disney, and I think that's absolutely just incredible. And the fact that they saw that there was merit in her case shows that there could be something here. There's a lot of people that are kind of like talking about, if this from a legal standpoint, if this is going to pan out for her or not. And I don't really know, but I think that there's enough here in the lawsuit that definitely at least entertains the possibility that she could potentially win this. And the thing that I find to be kind of cool with what she is talking about here is that she isn't really going after she isn't going after like her coworkers or anybody else that are kind of like that were kind of involved with some of this stuff. She's simply going after the company. And she just wants to clear her name at the end of the day. Like she doesn't seem to be necessarily concerned about the money aspect of it. She just wants her name to be cleared. And I think that's admirable. Like some people are like, well, why isn't she trying to get all of her money back? And maybe that'll tie into it. Maybe Disney will just kind of like be like, okay, here, just like take a shit ton of money and just leave us alone. But the fact that she just wants her name to be cleared so that she can continue to find work again, that she can, from a public perception, have that cleared for her is a cool thing. I mean, the media has done nothing but paint her as some sort of like villain for years now at this point, and it's absolutely pathetic to see. There's a lot of people out there that just hear what the media says and they just believe what the media says, which is ridiculous. But that's just the case and the fact of the matter. And so I really appreciate what she's doing here in the way that she's gracefully handling this case.
There's a little bit of trolling in this thing. It starts off as a Star Wars reference. A short time ago in a galaxy not so far away. It's pretty genius the way it's put together. But
yeah,
they talk about who's involved in all this stuff, and then it actually gets into the factual allegations of this, right? And you can see from the 14th byline here all the way down here. This is all things that she's gathered over time about the hypocritical nature of Disney. And once again, as I'm scrolling down, you see, I mean, just this is page after page after page after page of tweets and statements and blah 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 that continue to go and about Gina, why she feels how she feels with her lawsuits and with what she's actually suing for. And we continued it on. Pedro Pascal is in here. Mark Hamill, as you can see, all sorts of just proof and evidence of the hypocrisy attached to it. all the way down to, as we continue down, all the way down. We're still here, all the way down to, man, we're still going. This is just absolutely crazy. She's suing for, number one, wrongful discharge from the California labor code, right? Carano realleges, and incorporates by reference all prior paragraphs of this complaint as though fully set forth herein. So she talks about everything that was listed up there. That's the first complaint. The second complaint is wrongful discharge and refusal to rehire. Right? And then the third one is the one that I think people that actually may be the trump card, if you will, on this, which is sex discrimination under California's government code and laws, right? And this is the big thing. Section 12940 of the California Government Code provides it is an unlawful employee practice for an employer because of the race, religious creed, color, national origin, ancestry, physical disability, mental disability, reproductive health decision-making, medical condition, genetic information, marital status, sex, gender identity, gender expression, age, sexual orientation, or veteran or military status of any person to refuse to hire or employ this person, or to refuse to select the person for a training program leading to employment, or to bar or to discharge the person from employment or from a training program leading to employment, or to discriminate against the person in compensation in terms, conditions, and privileges of employment. So, defendant treated Carano differently than her similarly situated male coworkers. I don't see how anybody could look at that and be like, yeah, that's not accurate. Like, that's extremely accurate as to what happened.
Yep.
So that seems to be the big one here. She's looking for, this said, the defendant to reinstate Carano to her prior position with no loss of pay or benefits. Now, people are saying she wants to go back to work for Disney. Like, why would she want to go back and work for there? I think this is more about she just wants to get paid what she was promised initially.
Right.
Compensatory damages, but exceeding $75,000. It's all, everything is about to be. It's an amount determined in a trial, right? Compensatory damages for loss of a future employment, which that could be hundreds of millions of dollars, possibly, maybe, I don't know. Emotional distress in California, yikes. Everything being so emotional over there. Punitive damages, reasonable attorney fees and costs, blah, blah, blah. And here, I pointed this out last night. Carano demands a trial by jury. This is really interesting to me. And Gary pointed this out last night. The idea that I believe in trial by jury, this is where discovery comes in. And discovery, when you can dig in, I'm not a legal expert. I don't know. This is just from what I understand. That's where you can dig in and see the inner communications of the company, what they were actually saying about Carano and various other people that may be points of interest in this suit. And I think that's the goal here. Now, a lot of people are saying that she's going to settle out of court. I don't think that's the case. I think she's playing the long game here. Clearly, Disney's going to throw money at her to try to make this problem go away. Do you think she 100%. Does?
I mean, I think so. I mean, I think that there's enough here, especially I think that it's smart that they decide to go through the California system with this. I think that's going to really play into her benefit with a lot of this as well. I do think as well that it's also really interesting that she is wanting to do this with a jury. I think there's a couple of things. I think that one of those things is that is also going to help her kind of like reestablish her reputation, having a jury. I think that is going to, because, when you have like a jury and stuff, you have like people that are going to be kind of representatives of the rest of the population. It's a little bit of a gamble, kind of, but if it plays off for her, and I think that she's very confident that it is going to, and obviously X thinks so as well, they're going to find that she is innocent in all of this. So I think that's a huge play that she's making, and I think that it's going to. I would like to think that it's going to work out well for her, especially considering that she's doing this in California. I think that's huge for her.
MacFly says, I would be extremely disappointed if they can buy her off. I think,
Yeah.
I agree. I think that if she
Yeah.
settles out of court,
Yeah.
I think that's a huge L.
I think so too. I do. Yeah. I hope that's not the case. And I don't think that's really what her play is here. You know what I mean? I don't think that she's necessarily looking for that. I think that what she's looking for ultimately is the reputation, restoration, and some of that type of stuff. I think that's what her main play is here. And so I don't think that she would just settle out of court. So
Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine the kind of check that they'd want to write. Because
right.
as pointed out, like if this was Gina Carano suing Disney, that's one thing, but it's not.
Right.
It's Gina Carano and the wealthiest man in history suing Disney, which, with an unlimited pocketbook, I think that Elon Musk, given his stance on a lot of things, I think that he would he's going to go to bat, and he's willing to spend whatever it takes to. I mean, if he spends $100 million on this, big freaking deal. You know, like I think Elon Musk is willing to do it.
Exactly, especially since like we saw like Elon Musk when he was he kind of has like this a bit of a rivalry that he's been building with Disney over the past few months and stuff. He did the whole like go F yourself thing to Bob Iger and Disney and all that, and that kind of like started to set the stage. And Elon Musk has been just like tweeting out all sorts of stuff over the past couple of days about Disney as well, and just like bringing up all this crap about Disney. And so I think he is totally in on the fight, and I think he's willing to do whatever it takes to beat Disney in this. So I think that's going to be huge.
When you attack the system, which is what's happening here, you're going to have, as pointed out by Gary over on X, the Access Media is coming to defend their corporate masters. Now here's the Mary Sue, this Gina Carano saga that no one cares about anymore just got worse, and here she goes.
No one cares about it so much that this was blowing up all over Twitter yesterday and trending and all that stuff. Nobody cares about it though,
Disparu pointed out that wasn't the original article title to this. This was Gina Carano sues Disney over deserved firing.
So biased. So
Like,
much for
yikes.
just, reporting the news, right?